All right, secondary math 3, I'm going to do a video for you. I hope this helps. I'm just going to work through the geometry review that's on your canvas, and hopefully this will answer some questions for you. Let's go ahead and work through number 1. So this is the geometry review that you should do yourself. Maybe you should do it first and then come back and watch it and see if you have questions. But it says that we've got 1.75 million people in a circular region, 5 miles diameter. And so again, it was that population density equals the population over the area. And so if we've got 1.75 million, we should have this number over pi, and it said the diameter was 15. So if the diameter is 15, our radius is going to be 7.5 because we would do 15 divided by 2, right? And so then we're going to do 7.5 squared. In our calculator, we would want to do, and remember you can download this for free if you go to any Calculate 84. That's the app that's in Androids and Apple as well, but you should be able to get this. Remember to use parentheses, 7.5 squared. And so we should get 990.2.974, and it says round to the nearest whole number. So you would say 9,903. Please be careful, make sure that you're rounding properly. If it's 5 or higher, we go up. 4 or below, it stays. Okay, looking at number 2, it says a circular region has a population of 15,500 and a population density of 775. So this time, they gave me the density is 775. They told me the population is 15,500, and we're looking for the radius, right? So I'm going to have to solve by first getting rid of, it says divided by pi r squared, so I'm going to multiply by pi r squared on both sides. Get rid of that, and so now I have pi r squared times 775 equals 1550. Now on Nearpod they had you divide both of those, but you make sure you do parentheses if you do. I personally would do one step at a time, and so I would have done that. And so I've got pi r squared equals 20, and then I would have divided by pi to give me r squared equals 6.36, and then to get rid of a square we take the square root. And so r would be 2.52. It says round to the nearest tenth. So again, this is the tenth, so 2 would keep it the same, so I'd put in 2.5. It is a computer that's grading, so you need to make sure that you're listening, or excuse me, reading the directions, right? It's got a whole number, that means right there, this is the tenth. Number 3 is not going to be on the test, so don't worry about it on the review. Looking at number 4, it says that we've got a platinum has a density. Okay, so this is a different equation. It's density equals mass over volume. Okay, so this is the second lesson. It says platinum has a density of 21.4. A bar of platinum has a mass of 1,000 grams. It has a length and height, and it gives us a width and height and wants the length. So basically, let's first find the volume, right? So again, I would have to multiply by volume and get 21.4 V equals 1,000, and then I would divide by 21.4, and so that would give me that my volume is 46.73. And because it's a bar, we know it is length times width times height equals this, right? And so it told me my width is 51, my height is 9.7, and it wants the length, right? So I've got something times 51 times 9.7 equals this. And so when I divide, I don't know that I did that right, actually. I'm going to do it in my calculator real quick. So I've got 46. Well, let's first do 51 Oh, it went from centimeters to millimeters, so I had changed it. But on the test, they said that they were no longer going to change millimeters and centimeters and all that stuff. So let's go as if it was just like this, okay? So you shouldn't have to convert. If you do, you need to tell me so that I can change it. At first, I would multiply those two together. And so I would have length times 494.7 equals 46.73. And then because I want length by itself, I would divide both sides. So in my original homework when I did this, I did all the conversions. But again, I asked the person who made this to take that away so that we could just test your knowledge and not do all those conversions. So you should have 0.094. Does it say anything? To the nearest millimeter. So obviously that would be 0, but I'm sure it looks better on the test. Okay, let's go ahead and look at number 5. So number 5 is similar. It says we have a bar of platinum that is length, width, and height, right? So that's our volume, length times width times height. So the length is 49.7, the width is 28.5, and the height is 3.4. And so, oh, you know what? Now it's saying to double the height. Describe doubling how doubling the height affects the volume. So if I only double this one, my volume is only times 2. Okay, but if this was part of your assignment there. What if I did the height and the width, right? If I double the height and width, well, that means I did times 2 and times 2, so now my volume is times 4. And I think on the test, it's been a minute since I've taken it, but I think they said they doubled all 3 dimensions, and if I did, that's times 2, times 2, times 2, 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. Or we talked about well, I guess that's number 6. Oh, shoot, sorry. So number 6 says, what happens if I double the length and the width? So this is number 5, this is number 6, and this is number 7. I should have looked through it before I started. I hope that makes sense, though, that if I'm just doing 1 dimension, it's only going to multiply by 2. If I do 2 dimensions, it's times 4, and if I do all 3 dimensions, it's times 8. All right. Moving on to number 8 in the assignment. So it says we've got this sphere, right? It's like a bead, and it says that the diameter is 0.6 that of this hole, and then the other part, the diameter is 4. So what I have here is I have a circle, right, which is a sphere, and I'm going to take away a drilled bit, which would actually be a cylinder. So I have 4/3 pi r cubed minus pi r squared height. So this is radius, not diameter. So I'm going to change that radius to 2, right? Cut it in half. So I've got 4/3 pi 2 cubed minus, and then right here, this diameter is 0.6, so that diameter would be 0.3. So I would do 0.3 squared, and then the height, it says is, well, it'd be the full diameter, which is 4. So you would put that in your calculator and hopefully get 32.4. All right. B, do the surface area and volume of the wooden ball increase, decrease, or stay the same after the ball is made, after the hole is made? Well, both of them would decrease because you're taking away some of the surface area, right? The top and the bottom, and the volume, you just drilled a hole in it. So yeah, they would have to decrease. I didn't even see that question the first time I went through. All right, looking at number 9, I'm going to show you the picture here. So I hope you can see that it's slicing it right here. It's slicing it horizontally. So you can see it creates a rectangle. So number 9 is rectangle. However, if they would have cut it this way, vertically, it would have created that pentagon. So make sure, this is spatial reasoning. I hate that we miss this day. We usually get out Play-Doh and we take floss and we cut things and it's awesome. But COVID. So right here, number 10, it's cutting vertically, it's a triangle. But if I would have gone horizontally, it would have created that rectangle right there. Okay, and then number 11, right here, horizontally, it creates a square. And the reason why I can say a square is because it gives me those little points that say this is all equal, so that must be a square. What would you think if it went vertically? Let me give you a second. What do you think if we went up and down? I hope you said a triangle, because it would cut through it right there and get us a triangle. So number 9, let me just write that down for you, is a rectangle. Number 10 should be triangle. Number 11 should be square. Be specific, okay? All right, looking at number 12, it's got what is the shape of the cross section if I went at red? So again, horizontally, that's got to be a pentagon. Number 13, that's got to be a rectangle because I'm going across, and through. And then number 14, describe 3 different cross sections. So I could go across right here horizontally and I could get a pentagon. I could go up and down and get a rectangle. And I could just slice a corner and I could get a triangle. So number 12 is a pentagon. Number 13, I said trapezoid. It should be a rectangle though. Why did I say trapezoid? Because the opposite sides are equal. Number 14 should be a pentagon, a rectangle, and a triangle. Okay, number 15. Again, I usually take like a piece, like I cut out a little triangle and I tape it to a pencil and I spin it for you guys so you can see that it's actually going to create a cone. A cone, right? Because it would be a circle on the bottom. And it would be triangular by definition there. And so number 15 is a cone. And it says find the surface area. And surface area, I went ahead and just used the Google app. Personally, I went into Google and I said surface area of a cone, and it let you put in the radius and the height, and it will give you the answer. So the radius, so you have to know that this is the radius because it's from the center out, and this is the height, 9. So if you put in radius is 5 and height is 9, it gave me the answer that surface area is 240.26. It says round to the nearest hundredth, so that's what I must have done. Okay, then it says find the volume. Volume is 1/3 pi r squared times height. And so I did 1/3 pi, my radius squared, and my height 9 is 235.6. Okay, moving on to number 16, almost done here. Number 16, again, if we were to put this on a piece of paper, on a pencil, a little semicircle, and we twist it around, you would see that it would create a sphere. Okay, and so notice that its radius is 7. That's not the diameter, because I would have another semicircle here. My husband's going to kill me for touching his computer. Anyways, you have a 7. So number 16 would be a sphere. Again, I used the Google calculator, and it said, what's the surface area of a sphere? And it just asked you for the radius, and so I put in the radius was 7, and I got 615.75. And then for volume, it's 4/3 pi r cubed. Now I say I put that in the calculator, the Google calculator, because it's not on the ACT. I don't feel like you need to know it, and it's complicated. You can do whatever you want, but you do need to know the volume equation for your ACT. I highly recommend you use your actual brain and your actual calculator to do those. You should get 1,436.8. Number 17. Yowzas. All right, so again, we're going around and around and around. It's going to make like a snow cone. It's going to have a triangle here and another semicircle here. So it's almost like a snow cone that fell over, really sad. So number 17, I've got a cone plus half a sphere. Okay, so surface area, and there's no reason why you can't use the Google calculator on your quizzes and tests. You have everything available to you. You should be smart and use what you need. So I actually didn't do that one because I didn't. So I don't think it's on the test. I hope not. Because the volume, we would do the cone, which is 1/3 pi r squared height plus half the sphere, which is 4/3 pi r cubed. So we have 1/3 pi. We have to know the radius. The radius here is 8. And for the cone, the height is 6th, right? Because we're going down this way. So that's the height, and that radius is 8. So my radius is 8 squared. The height is 6 plus 1/2 4/3 pi. And then again, my radius is still 8 cubed. And I've got 1,474.5. Last one, number 18. It says, identify the solid that is produced when I have y is 0, which is this axis, y equals x. Wait, sorry. Yeah, y is 0. Y equals x. X equals 2, x equals 2. I assumed that it just meant this x equaled 2, and it's rotated around the axis. So, let's see if I can do it. So it gave me the y equals 0. It gave me y equals x. And one more color, come on, Cooper. And then it gave me x equaled 2. So my assumption is that they were talking about this right here. Okay, so let me just clean that up just a little bit. So if I took this and I rotated it around the y-axis, this is the y-axis right here. If I went around, it would create this. Almost like a vase of some kind, but it's going to be circular in nature, but it's going to have kind of like a pit, like a ring holder or something. So it says find the volume. Well, technically what I have here is I have a cylinder, and I have, oh, I spelled cylinder wrong. Cylinder, and I'm going to take away a cone. Okay, so I've got pi r squared height, then I'm going to take away this cone figure here. And so that's 1/3 pi r squared times height. And so because it says that this is 2, I know that that's my radius. And because it's y equals x, that's also 2. So I've got pi 2 squared times 2 minus 1/3 pi 2 squared times 2. And so I got 16.8. I really hope this helped. Let me know if there's anything else I can do. I'm not getting a lot of information on Zoom meetings. Do we want Zoom meetings? Have you been getting my emails? I don't know. So my number that you can reach me at is 385-646-2219. That's the school number, but it is now ringing out my cell. And then, of course, DM Cooper at graniteschools.org. So as you guys can see, I do all the homework as well. So I've got all the questions that you have, and hopefully I can help you. Keep fighting. You can do this. You can do this. Bye.